going on, everyone? So, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Indiana Pacers finalized a deal today for the star and Pascal Siakam from the Toronto Raptors. So, the Indiana Pacers are finalizing a trade to acquire all-star forward Pascal Siakam in a deal that will send Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, and 3 first-round picks to the Toronto Raptors. New Orleans will be the third team in the deal, sending Kira Lewis to the Raptors. Indiana is sending 2 2024 first-rounders and a 2026 first to the Raptors. Source said New Orleans sends a second-round pick to Indiana. The 2024 first-round picks will be Indiana's own and the worst of the Utah, Houston, Clippers, OKC per sources. So, Pascal Siakam is officially an Indiana Pacer. And Indiana got a deal. 3 firsts for a guy that could potentially leave in the offseason. Now, I don't necessarily think he will. Now, I think he does make a lot of sense in Indiana. But, man, there is always that risk. And you just basically did what Toronto did with Kawhi Leonard. The difference is I don't think Indiana wins a championship this year. Look, Pascal Siakam definitely makes them better. But I don't think that he's going to make them, all of a sudden they're one of the top teams in the league. But why am I talking about the Indiana Pacers and the Pascal Siakam trade? Which, real quick, if you do want to hear all of my thoughts on the trade, go head on over to As It Stands Sports. Go over there, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I just uploaded a video diving into the actual trade and my thoughts and opinions. But this is a Laker channel. So why are we talking about this? Because Indiana officially got Pascal Siakam off the market, which means that all of the other teams that were interested in Pascal Siakam now aren't distracted. I made a video earlier today diving into hey, we kind of need the Siakam trade to drag on, right? Siakam getting traded could be and spell trouble for the Lakers because you have teams like Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks, and the Sacramento Kings, and various other teams that are all interested in Siakam, that are all kind of distracted looking over here. I thought as long as that dragged out, that'd give the Lakers ample time to go and try to get a deal done, right? But now that Siakam is off the market, now teams like the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks and many of these other teams are now going to pivot and look elsewhere. Look for other pieces, other star guys. And a lot of those guys a lot of the players that the Lakers are rumored to be interested in, Warriors and many other teams are. And again, that just adds to a level of competition where Pascal Siakam, he's over here. Look at the shiny toy. And the Lakers are sneaking through the back door to go get, a DeJounte Murray. Right? Something along those lines. But now it's okay, we've heard the Warriors have had interest in DeJounte. Sacramento has even been a name thrown out there, right? Sixers, all these other teams that all kind of had some level of interest that have been in reports because you keep hearing the same 5 or 6 teams kind of be tossed around in pretty much every trade. When you look at it, it's okay, well, if all these teams are kind of focusing their effort here, and the Lakers are well, we don't really want Siakam. Siakam doesn't really make sense for us. We're not going to give away our last assets to go get a guy that could potentially leave us in the offseason. So let's focus on a DeJounte Murray trade, which the Lakers are supposed to touch base at some point this week. When is that? Who knows? It could have already happened, right? I hope it hasn't because that means it still hasn't gotten done. But the hope is that okay, you sit down, you talk to the Atlanta Hawks, and you're hey. But also, Siakam may have just set the market. I mean, Pascal Siakam just went for 3 firsts. Bruce Brown, who he was overpaid, right? I mean, he was a huge salary, which is funny because he was headed to the Lakers until Indiana offered him that $22 million deal. That was the report. It was done. He was going to go for Gabe Vincent's money. And he ended up going to the Pelicans, which are good for him, right? Go get your bag. But he ends up going to the Pacers, and now he gets traded to Toronto. I just think that's funny. But he didn't care. I think he just wanted the money, right? But now, what does Toronto do with him? I don't think the Lakers should go trade for him or anything like that. I mean, again, he's making 22. He's not worth $22 million. He's a very good player, but he's not worth $22 million, right? At that point, you might as well just go get, if we're going to overpay double what a guy's for, go get Zach LaVine. But we need the Lakers to get a deal done sooner rather than later. And the more competition, the worse and harder it could get for the Lakers. Because, look, the Lakers, there's countless reports of like DeJounte Murray, potentially Clint Capella, Sadiq Bey, could you get him, a Hunter? Like Atlanta's willing to throw in other pieces and try to make this an even bigger trade, an even bigger deal, because they want to get off as much salary as they can. They want to get off as many pieces as they can, kind of retool, rebuild this roster. So it makes sense for them. But now if Golden State, all these other teams are like, okay, well, we can't get Siakam anymore. What about DeJounte Murray? Right? What about Clint Capella? The Dallas Mavericks, the Sacramento Kings, Golden State Warriors, 3 of those teams that were after Pascal Siakam all want Clint Capella, based on reports. So do the Lakers. So that could be competition, right? There's just, it could just complicate several things for the Lakers and just make things difficult. And that's not what you want, right? My hope was that that the Siakam deal would kind of take a while, closer to the trade deadline than not. And that way we could see a big, here you go. Here's Siakam getting traded, and it's like, well, the Lakers already got DeJounte. The Lakers already got Clint Capella. The Lakers already got Bogdanovich, right? The Lakers already got Sadiq Bey, whatever. Because, if right now DeJounte Murray is the Lakers' clear focus. DeJounte Murray is the player that they are actively targeting and trying to get, and hopefully it gets done sooner rather than later, because we need him as soon as possible. We need a trade. Look, I know we just won our last game, and we're playing Dallas, so hopefully, we can get that win, and now we go back to back and all that stuff. That would be great. But even then, we are so far behind the 8 ball right now. We need to play catch up, and you need to have time to do the things that you need to do. You need to have time to go get, your chemistry and your relationships and all of those. You need that, right? You need that badly. And, because everything's going to have a bit of a learning curve, and there's already questions with DeJounte Murray and his fit and all that stuff. It's just, you need to kind of be able to hash that out. And now if you get to the trade deadline and the Lakers are 5-6 games under 500, season's already done, right? So what's the point at that point, right? But if DeJounte Murray ends up getting taken off the market, what if some team is like, well, look, Siakam just got traded, OG Anunoby just got traded, all but a month before the trade deadline. Do we really want to run the risk of DeJounte Murray getting traded now? Let's go make a move. Let's go offer 2 firsts and go get DeJounte Murray. Siakam just went for 3 and he's an expiring. That. Now, again, it just kind of depends on where you're at, right? Toronto was also in a position where they could have re-signed Siakam, where they didn't necessarily need to move off of Siakam. So, it is a different situation, different player, different everything. But still, 3 firsts and a player for which they basically just traded Siakam for 3 firsts, right? But what can they get something for Bruce Brown? That's interesting. Point is that it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, because my concern is that a team gets kind of we don't want to be the team that misses out and loses out on Siakam. And now they're in a just tough position to where it's okay, let's go overpay for DeJounte Murray. Let's go overpay for Clint Capella. Let's go overpay for these guys just so we can get them before somebody else gets them, because guys are moving too fast. And now the Lakers miss out. It's definitely a concern. So, and that's why I was talking about it earlier. And then, fast forward a couple hours, 6 hours or whatever, when it was announced, 6 hours later, and boom, there you go. Here's the deal. It's done. It's finalized. Which, good for Indiana. That's great for Indiana. But I just don't want anything that makes things more difficult for the Lakers sucks. And this could, it might not, maybe it doesn't, right? Maybe the Lakers still get DeJounte Murray and everything. It's just definitely a concern. It's worth mentioning. It's worth having a conversation on. But anyway, again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. Do you think, no, it'll be fine? No, there's no real competition. Lakers either get him or he does, or they don't. Do you think, no, this is definitely something that could be an issue. This is definitely something that could cause some stir for the Lakers. Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.